begin with a word of prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, help us with this Greek class. They're difficult teaching Greek in English to Chinese people who don't understand all the English. So help us each day, each class. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, honey, you can push your record.
Just wait a minute.
Got the record?
The red thing, right?
The red.
Okay. All right.
Okay, we're recording this and streaming it not only to Spain but also to our people over in New Jersey and all around the world under BibleToday.org.
Can't
So
see.
this way we're recording these. This is an introduction to the Greek New Testament, and we're using the text, beginner's grammar of the Greek New Testament. I understand there's no interpreter, so everything will be in English. How many can understand English? Raise your hand. Okay, how many understand just a little English? Just a little English. Raise your hand. Little English? All right, we're trying to be as slow as we can. Now, how many of you have the actual textbook? How many have in writing? Okay. Now, how many have it on your computer? Nobody. Not on your computer. Okay. All right, so we're moving along. The subject, beginner's grammar of the Greek New Testament. This is an introductory course. We want to have you to understand the alphabet so that eventually, if you want to look up a word in the New Testament Greek, you can use it and find it. Later on, we're going to give you copies to look at. You don't have to buy this. The copies to look at, called the Beginner's Grammar. It's called the Scrivener's Annotated Greek New Testament. That's the New Testament in Greek. Because once we get to a certain place, I want you to look at this. You don't have to buy it, but I want you to have it in your hand. Don't wreck it because these are books. But I want you to look up certain verses. I want you to read the verses in Greek. Because when we get to that point, you'll be able to understand a little bit more. Each of you also have the Bible Today update. We gave you a copy of that. Mrs. Waite has written this and tells everybody. We've sent this out to our whole internet family. Tells us about our Greek class, our Chinese class in Greek. And also, I've given every one of you one of these copies. One of the ladies handed out. Now this shows you where to get an analytical Greek lexicon. A lexicon is a dictionary of the Greek language. So that will give you an understanding of what those words mean in the Greek. The time we get through the class, you'll be able to find out how to spell the Greek words and how to use them and so on. So be sure that these things are possible. All right, just want to be sure you have those in your hands. All right, now we're beginning. Notice the first page, Beginner's Grammar, Greek New Testament, William Hersey Davis. We're going to move ahead now to lesson number 1. So let me just go a little bit faster to lesson number 1. Go to lesson number 1 in your pages, and we'll find out where that is. Lesson number 1. All right, notice the alphabet. It's important that everyone in the class understands perfectly the alphabet. Let's say the letters together. Now that A is alpha. Say alpha. Alpha as in father. And then B is beta. Say beta. And as in boy. And then this is gamma. And notice how its capital is this way and the small letters are this way. This is D for delta, like in day. And then epsilon. Epsilon. Like in fate or mate. Now this eta, epsilon, we've got zeta. Zeta. That funny looking thing there, zeta, like in days. And then this is eta. It's a capital letter and a small letter, as in mate. Then this is theta, capital this way and small letter this way, as in thin. Theta. And then this is iota. Iota as in fit, iota. Sometimes it's a long I, like in police, E. Sometimes it's E or it, but it's iota. I will go to the next few letters. Kappa. It's spelled small letter here, large letter here, as in keep. This is lambda. Capital here, and this is a small lambda, like in lead. And then this is mu. Just like an M is in man. capital and small letters. And this is new. That's capital and small letters here, like in net. And this is C. That's just capital, and this like an X. C. And then we go to O, which is Omicron. Omicron is small, a small letters, short O, like an omit. Short omit. It's not omit, but omit. It's a short O, really like like in short. Really not at least this is not exactly what it is, but it's usually This is P, capital here and short here. A lot of time people pronounce that in English pi, but it really is P because it's got a iota, see, and iota is either short I or long I, P, as in peg, and rho is trill, capital Rho R and capital Rho. A little bit of a trill, see, Rho, like in Spanish, Rho. It's not just Rho, but Rho. It's just a little trill of the tongue, Rho. And like in run, and this is sigma, capital, and small. Now, notice the S, if it's inside the word, it's written this way, but if it's at the end of the word, it's written like an S. See? At the end of the word, it's this way, like in sit. And then tau, capital T, and small t. Tau is in 10. And this is ypsilon. The French, U, T. Just not U, but it's U. You put your mouth U and you say E. It's German lecture. People, a lot of them get it wrong in pronunciation. That's really U. You put your mouth like I say W, and you say U. So you say E. So all right, that's difficult. Here's phi, capital phi, and small phi, as in graphic. And this is chi. It's a rough, like a capital, like the Scott lach. Lach. All right, so that's the alphabet. Not too different from the English alphabet, if you think of it. A, B, C, D, C, A, B, C, D, E. This would be F, H, then I, C, I in English. And then J, then K, L, M, N. Here's O, P, R, S, T, U. Another symbol to the English alphabet. A lot of you don't know the English alphabet, but that's similar to the English alphabet. So we've got to know the letters and what they mean. So that's the alphabet. And let's move on. Any questions first of all? Move on before. Any other questions on the alphabet? All right, we're going to move slowly through the book. One of the men at the beginning said, well, how many pages of the book are we going to cover? I said, just as many as we have time to cover. We're not going to get through the whole book. We're going to get just little by little. I'll take it slow and easy. We don't want to rush. It's an introductory subject. And so we just take a few things. The main thing, I want every student to understand the Greek alphabet, be able to look up any Greek word, pronounce that word correctly, and then if you can look it up in an analytical Greek dictionary, that's what I want you to do. This is, I'll get it out here, this is what is called the analytical Greek lexicon. That's what I gave you this paper to look up. If you want to buy one, I would suggest you buy one of these, either this side or that side of the paper, an analytical Greek lexicon. That gives you the form of the word that you find in the Bible, and then across to the right side, it will tell you the root of that word, and then go to the root, give you the meaning. So every word will look up and you'll know exactly what it is. I urge every one of you, if you're interested in the Greek New Testament, to buy a used copy of this book. You don't have to buy a new one, but a used copy so that you can look up the word. And just as it occurs in the New Testament, it's found in this dictionary exactly as it is. Because a lot of words, you don't know what the root is because it's a form of the word. So this gives you the form, and the right side of the column gives you the root. And look up the root, and that gives you the meaning of that word. And then later on, we're going to give everyone to use a copy of this Scribner's Annotated Greek New Testament, which is the Greek New Testament that we have, so we can look at it. I say, look at page number so-and-so. I want you to start reading this Greek word. See? So later on, we'll do that. don't dirty it up, because these are new books. If you want to buy it, you can buy it, but we're going to have it at least for use a little bit later when we come to that. All right.
Question.
Yes, question. Go ahead.
The first book, the blue one, the dark color one.
Yes.
Is it here?
This one
No,
here.
no, the other one.
This one here.
Yes.
No, we got that back there. See, so we're going to give you a copy to look at. We've got 20 copies for the 17 students, and since there was an 18th one coming somewhere. So this one, we'll get that. But this other one, the Analytical Greek Lexicon, that's the one that page. Any other questions before we move on? Any other questions? All right, let's move on then. Goes to the alphabet. Now, very important, that alphabet. Check on. Now let's go to lesson number. Well, this is the alphabet. Notice the alphabet here before we leave that first page. We're supposed to pronounce aloud these words. See, this is TH, fellow. Say fellow. See, TH is theta, along fellow. This one is nomos. See the N and the M? Nomos. Right? Now this is I will, and this is the law. Right? This is the word grapho. Excuse me, graphe. I remember a little trill on the R. Graphe. And this, notice that eta is always long. A, like an eta. This is Lego. Okay, you see, we read this. Okay, oh, that's good. Okay. All right, now over here, let's go. This is blepo. Blepo. I see. Blepos, I see. This is philos. Philos is a short I. Philos. Short O, philos. That's a friend. And this is nukes. Nukes. Okay, a lot of people say nux, but it's not. It's nuke and roots. It's nukes. A little bit of that. That's night. And this one is adelphos. That's a friend. Adelphos. Anthropos. Notice this is a long O, omega. This is a short O. And this is a trilled R. Anthropos. All right, that's a man. Anthropology. This is sozo. Sozo. That means I save. This is cosmos. That's the world. Cosmology. This is echo. Remember that X is X. A little bit of echo. Because I have echo. This is psyche. This is psyche. Remember that little bit of X? Psyche. That's a soul. Somebody's soul. Or life. This is thelema. That's a friend, a wish. Thelema. All right, any questions now on some of these words that we might have? Any questions on any of these words?
I already forgot. Yes. There was one alphabet that pronounced like, which one is that?
That would be the K, right there, K. That's the K right there, K. Any other questions here? All right, so these are some of our, are you ready for lesson number 2? Okay, now, we want you to memorize the alphabet if you can, in the order of it, so that when you look up a word in your dictionary, you know where to look in alphabetical order. So if you forget it, just go back to chapter lesson 1, see the alphabet, the order of words, the order of letters, so you can look it up. All right, lesson 2 is vowels, diphthongs, and breathing.
I have another question.
Yes, question.
There's one that you pronounce as you pronounce as wu.
That's Uchelon. It's like a French U. Tu. It's not tu, but it's tu. It's just a little bit different. Tu. It's a hard one to understand and to pronounce. But that's way
Chinese has a word.
They have a word similar to that?
Yeah.
Okay, we got that same Chinese word. Good. Any other question? Yes, sir.
I do have a question. So on the form of small letters, there's one kappa,
Yes,
and there's
sir.
one chi.
Key, okay.
He.
Yeah.
So when you're writing, is that same, kind of like syntax? So is that they're writing the same thing?
This kappa should be like a K, really. That's a funny looking one, really. That's not too well. It should really be more like a K. See? That kappa is not really, it didn't come out right in the book. Kappa, that should be just like a K, see?
Could you write down on the board and I can distinguish?
Well, it's like this K right here. See this
like
K?
a small K.
See the big K here? See the big K? Right there. Just make a small K. Because this looks like an X. Yeah, that's not right. No, it should be like a K, like a kappa. Kappa. Just like this K right here, this small K right here, kappa. Other question? All right, then let's move on to the lesson 2, vowels, diphthongs, and breathing. There are 7 vowels in the Greek language. Let's say them together. A, E, I, O, I. And see, that's that Chinese I. Okay. O. See, these are some vowels. Now, this eta is the long form of epsilon. Say A, say N. All right, and omega is the long form of omicron. So say O and O. O, like in logos. Logos. O. And then N and O are always short. Epsilon and omicron. And eta and omega are always long. So always A and omega. Eta, omega. A and O. This corresponds, like the English, A, E, I, O, U. Similar in Greek. A, E, O, I, O.
Can you slow down so we can
Sure.
read after you?
Try. A, E, O, I, O. Okay. Any other questions on that?
What's the difference between the, let's see, I can't hear and read that well. So the second one is N.
It's just short E, like that. Third one, A, long, always A. Short E, long E, A.
And then the last two differences, the second to last one.
Yeah, this short O, like in logos, and long O. Omega is always long, omega.
So the O and O.
O and O.
So the last one sounds like
O, that's O. O, that's always
O
O.
like O.
Yeah, long O.
Almost like O.
O, very O. Omega.
Omega.
See, now, omega is long O. Omega is long, and O is long O, and long O. And now notice, omicron is short O. Omicron is short. O, short O, omega long O. O.
So it's just short and long.
It's short and long. Right. Any other questions on it? Any other questions on these? Yes, sir.
The third and last one.
This one, each one. That's like the Chinese E.
The third.
Oh, omicron. Oh, this way. This way.
No.
This way.
Yeah.
Ada.
Last one.
Last one, omega. Omega. This is short E, long E, A. Let's try them again. O. Okay. Any other questions on this? All right, those are the vowels. Now, diphthong, 2 vowels fused into one. All right. Now, this alpha iota is I. See, I as I. This one, A and epsilon, is like owl. Owl. Now, this one we differ. I differ with the textbook on this. Epsilon iota should sound like A. They say like height. I. No, we differ with it. It's not I, like height, it's A. Like in hay. Hay. A-E. A-E sounds A-E. A. Just like A-I is I. It should be A, not like height. This, I don't agree with this here. A. Then this is right. Oi. Like in oil. And then this is oo, like in group. And this is eu, like in few. Few. Eu. And then this is eu, like in symbol like the eu, but it's eu. It's long. Eu. This is we. We, just like we. Are there any questions on the diphthongs, these two vowels together? Pretty well, it's the vowels pronounced together, one together, and they make two together, like I is I, see? I-U is ow, A is A, O is oo, A-U is few, A-U is A. And we is we. So it's similar, pronounce them separately.
Question.
Yes.
On the right-hand side, the first one is O or U. This one, yeah.
Down here?
Yeah, this one.
That's oo.
Ooh.
O is like in group. Yeah, O like in group. O. Like
Group, like group. I'm
group, yeah, like a group. Yeah, O. It's a hard one to pronounce. O like in group. O. Group. O. So group. O. So group. Other questions on this one? Everything working all right? Camera ready? Okay, good. All right, any other questions? All right, let's move on then to, also there's, these are, notice, alpha with a iota subscript is called. Underneath, written underneath the little I, the little iota. Here's an eta with a little subscript. Here's omega with a little iota subscript. See that iota, it's beneath the vowel, iota subscript, written below the script, below the letter, a little iota. And that doesn't affect the sound of the vowel. The vowel is still the same. Even if that's a little iota, it still is ah. This is still A, still O. So even though that iota subscript is there. All right? Any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
Could you write on the board that iota? Because it's so small, I can't see it.
Well, just put a little bit iota underneath the alpha, see?
So iota is the English I.
I don't know whether I've got my microphone. I don't want to go too far.
I'm sorry.
I don't know which of these things to use. Is this black one to use?
The black line, did it work?
Well, let's see. It looks like it's dead. That one's dead. Okay. And this red one works. I don't know.
Can't see it.
There's just a little bit of yoga like that. See, that's it. Or there's a white, yeah. A little bit of yoga like that. See, that's an iota subscript.
Can't see it.
Can't see it?
Too small.
Too small. Okay. I gotta get back in position.
You're a small.
But can you say more?
No. I just want you to write down the detail. You know,
The yoga.
yeah.
Why can't you see that? It's so small, yeah.
Make it
You
big.
can see it. Well, let's see if I get up again. I gotta watch this microphone. I gotta go this way.
You're standing.
Well, let me see here.
Just write down the tail. There's a thing.
There's alpha. And there's the yoga. Okay. All right, now try to sit down here again. Right, sit down again. Get up to the microphone. All right, any other questions on the iota subscripts? What does subscript mean? Subscript. That's right, underneath, written underneath. Sub is below, written below. Subscript, written below. All right. Well, let's see, that's yours. Now, many Greek words begin with a sound equivalent to the English H. Now this is a rough breathing. You see this sign here, this comma? To the left. That's rough breathing. See, it's got to be written this way. This comma, that's a rough breathing. So whenever that precedes the word, you have to say, that's right. Rough breathing over a vowel, see? All right, let's move on. Or a diphthong. For instance, here's an illustration. That's horos. You see this rough breathing here on the top? This little comma? That's a rough breathing. We pronounce that horos. Not oros, but horos. Horos. Rough breathing, horos. Now here is, see this, it's normally aoristo, but see the rough breathing here under the upsilon over? Heristo. Heristo. Get that? Heristo, that's rough breathing. Now, if an initial vowel has this kind of a comma, not to the left, but to the right, that's a smooth breathing. Smooth breathing. So, if that's, see that smooth breathing mark there? That's akul. Akul. Not hakul. No rough breathing. It's akul. Forget it's not breathing at all. Just like it rated off. Akul. So every Greek word that begins with a vowel either has a rough breathing, like choristo or horos, or it has a smooth breathing, like akul or uranos, like heaven. See, that's a smooth breathing. See, when the comma is written to the right, that's smooth. When it's written to the left, that's rough. You see the two different breathings? Or just regular? Initial upsilon always has the rough breathing. Whenever you have the upsilon, always choristo. Yes, go ahead, Jane.
So when you say left, breathe is this way, right?
Well, let me just see.
Because
Here's the left. Let me show you where the left. What I mean by left. The rough breathing is like this. Hold on. See that? See, it's written to the left. See there? Right here. Hold on. Can you see it up here?
because the
Look it on the board. See that? See that? It's written. It starts here and it goes to the left. To the left.
okay, all right.
And the other one is starts here and goes to the right. See, to the right. That's a smooth breathing, goes to the right. Whenever you see that left breathing, that's rough. With the H. Hodos. Hodos.
But really, if you look at the sign that suppose smooth breathing is really to the left right now.
The smooth breathing here.
No, the one on top when it's down.
Rough breathing. The rough breathing.
No, I'm talking about this one.
Smooth breathing. Careful, can you squeeze by?
Yeah. I'm talking about this one. This is to the left.
Well, but it angles to the right.
Where is it? Oh, you say this way.
Yeah, that's to the right.
Oh, okay.
Be careful now. We made it. Okay. Second time.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? All right. So rough breathing, smooth breathing. Initial upsilon always has rough breathing. Always for the. Now notice it says right in English, the accordance with equivalence is 1 and 4. Let's say this together. What's it? Balate. Balate. See that's I-F-F. And ace. Ace. See, EI is ace. Remember, that's a smooth breathing, see? That's to sort of to the right. Ace. And ta. Dexia. See, that's Dexia. And then mere. Mere. With a little trill on the R. Mere. And then tu. And ployu. And top. And then dictuon. And kai. And heroresete. This is rough breathing. Heroresete. And then tis. Ara, this is smooth breathing. Ara. Hutos. Remember, over the epsilon, always rough breathing. Kutos. This is smooth breathing. Estin. And this is rough breathing. Hey. Suche. Suche. That little suche. Then this is smooth breathing. Out. Oh no. Out two. Well, what's strange is that I don't know whether it's rough or smooth. And this is FOBC. FOBC. And hoi, that's a rough breathing. Hoi. You see, you put an H on it because it's out of rough breathing mark. Hoi. Then anthropoi. Trill that out a little bit. Anthropoi. All right. And then exelthon. Ek. That's a smooth breathing. Ek. And two. Oiku. It's a smooth breathing. Oiku. So these are some of the readings. Any questions on these readings?
Very complicated.
Yes. Very what? What do you say? Very what? Complicated?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Since the subscript does not affect the vowel, so what is for?
The subscript doesn't affect the vowel or the sound, but it indicates the case. Is a locative, instrumental, or dative case. So you'll get into the case a little bit later, but when it's locative, instrumental, or dative case, it has an I. Sometimes it's a subscript I, especially if it's a subjunctive mood. We get into the subjunctive a little bit later. So there's a strange. They just put that in there to introduce it. But later on, we'll see why that's a little tiny I. Yours at the bottom. Other questions? Other questions on these words? All right. Now, write the following Greek characters. If you could put here, you write the chi with a kappa, alpha, iota. Right? Kappa, alpha, iota. This is pollen, which is P, alpha, lambda, iota, nu. See that? You have to write those Greek letters. And exato. This is exato. This is a long E, so it's eta, rho, chi, alpha, tau, omicron. See, that's then didascane. That's a delta, iota, delta, alpha, sigma, kappa, epsilon, iota, and nu. And this para is P, alpha, rho, trill that R, rho. See, like in Spanish, you have a little trill in Spanish, you know Spanish. Because they're listening to Spanish. Somebody, in order to practice the trills, they have a little poem, you see. Around the rough and rugged rock, ragged rascal ran. Around the rugged rock. See, practice trills. Around the rough and rugged rock, ragged rascal ran. It should be just normal, around the rough and rugged rock, the ragged rascal. So, anyway, which one are we on now? What word here? Para, oh yeah, para, P, alpha, rho, alpha, and this is tame. Remember that's a long E because it's got a long mark over it. That's tau, eta, nu, and this is thalassine, which is a C. This is theta, TH is theta, alpha, lambda, alpha, sigma, alpha, and nu. All right, this chi is kappa, alpha, iota. And sunagatai would be sigma, epsilon, nu, alpha, gamma, epsilon, tau, alpha, iota. Okay, this cross is P, rho, low trill, rho, omicron, sigma. Okay, this is our ton, which is alpha, epsilon, tau, omicron, nu. This plus is omicron, chi, lambda, omicron, sigma. Okay, this is place plus. This is P, lambda,
lambda,
epsilon,
epsilon,
iota,
iota,
sigma,
sigma,
tau,
tau,
omicron,
omicron,
sigma.
sigma,
This is hoste.
hosted,
This is rough breathing, see? At H, there's no such thing as H, you just put a rough breathing to the left. Ha, host breathing. Now this notice, this is long O, so that's omega.
omega,
Hoste, omega.
omega,
See, not a short O, but long O with that line, that means it's a long O, omega, sigma,
sigma,
tau,
tau,
epsilon.
epsilon,
This is outcon, which is alpha,
alpha,
epsilon,
epsilon,
tau,
tau,
omicron,
omicron,
nu.
nu,
And this is H, which is epsilon,
epsilon,
iota,
iota,
sigma.
Sigma.
You see, now, we pronounce it ace. See, the way the man said is ice. No, that's another way to pronounce it. We ace, ace. See, we go with different with a little bit on that book. It's ace, okay? And this is ploion, which is P, lambda, omicron, iota, omicron, nu. And this is mbanta,
and beta,
epsilon,
epsilon,
mu, beta,
beta,
alpha,
alpha,
nu,
nu,
tau,
tau,
alpha.
alpha,
This is cut estai,
contest,
which is kappa,
kappa,
alpha,
alpha,
theta.
theta,
See, that's TH together, that's a theta. And this is long E, eta. See,
beta,
that top there means it's long E, theta. And
theta,
then a sigma.
sigma,
And this is theta again, TH.
theta,
Theta together. And then alpha,
alpha,
iota.
iota,
Here's a little short word, isn't it? Peripleximus. Okay. Peri is around, and pleptos to see, and menos is to remain. So you look around and you see and remain a little bit of time. Okay. P is P, epsilon, rho, iota,
iota,
beta,
beta,
lambda,
lambda,
epsilon,
epsilon,
P, sigma,
sigma,
alpha,
alpha,
main,
main,
epsilon,
epsilon,
nu,
nu,
omicron,
omicron,
sigma.
sigma,
Then obtuse, which is alpha,
alpha,
epsilon, tau,
tau,
omicron,
omicron,
epsilon,
epsilon,
sigma.
sigma,
And lege, which is lambda, epsilon,
epsilon,
gamma,
gamma,
epsilon,
epsilon,
iota.
iota,
And ide, which is iota,
iota,
delta,
delta,
epsilon.
epsilon,
And hey, now notice there's no H, but that's a rough breathing. And it's also a long E. See, that's an eta, that long E with that line over top of it. So that's hey.
hey,
And then meter,
meter,
that's a main.
main,
Notice that long, that's an eta. And then this long E, eta. Then tau, another long E, eta. Rho. And then mu,
mu,
like the cow.
Cow.
Main, omicron, upsilon.
epsilon,
And then chi,
Right.
kappa,
alpha,
alpha, iota, and then hoi. Remember, there's no H. What's that mean? Rough breathing on the O. Hoi. See, hoi. Rough breathing. So this is an omicron iota with a rough breathing. That's what the H is. That's a rough breathing for the left. To the left. Then adelphoi, alpha, delta, epsilon, lambda. There's a PH. That's phi, omicron, iota.
iota,
Then mu, main, omicron, upsilon. All right, I hope you all can write those in Greek, but that's a practice. Write them in Greek. All right, any questions on this one before we move on? All right?
excuse me,
Yes, I'm sorry.
the left light turn off, left light,
Oh, the light turned off? Okay, is there any way we can turn that back on? The left turn, right.
okay.
Oh, you want to turn it off? Oh, is that what you
看得
mean?
到，你们看得到吗
Oh, you mean you want to turn it on?
？OK，
You want, it's better turned on? So you can see better, huh?
啊，我就是说那边关掉，这边关掉。
So you see it better now?
Yeah, I think.
Oh, that's better, okay. Any other questions?
看得见吗？
白光的。
那个 screen
白光，那个师傅能不能再升高一点哦？我们
You all right?
全部被脑袋挡住了。
Everything all right?
现在你待会儿再说，现在。
All right, any other questions? All right, let's move on then to lesson number 3, accent. What do we do? Okay. Honey, did you get a?
Yes, it's not quite, yes.
You got, okay, good. She forgot her charger, so
I
some
don't
lady
know.
gave her a charger. That's good.
I had a,
All right, accent. Now, most Greek words are written with accents. Accents are either acute, which is to the left, or grave, which is to the right. See, acute and grave. You see the different accents? And then there's a circumflex, which is sort of a round thing. A round circumflex. Those are 3 different accents. So we have lambane. See, that's an acute accent to the right. And ton, which is to the left, ton. And then dulon. That's a circumflex. See, these are the 3 different accents: acute, grave, and circumflex. So here's akuo. That's a grave. Akuo, that's a large, strong, that's an acute. See, that shows you where to accent. Remember, akuo is a smooth reading mark. And taste, that's a circumflex. Taste. Then phones. Right, so these are the different accents in the Greek language. Thus, lambane. Did we already go through that? We did.
No.
No, we didn't.
Okay. And lambane, so that's an acute accent. Ton. What kind of accent is that?
Left or right?
What's it called?
Great.
Grave. Okay. Dulon. What kind of accent is that?
Circumflex.
Circumflex. Akuo. What kind of breathing is that over the alpha?
Right.
And what do they call it?
Great.
No, but what kind of breathing?
Breathing.
Rough or smooth? Rough? It's not to the left. It's to the right.
To the right, it's smooth.
Smooth. See, it's not haku, but aku. Okay, just checking. What kind of accent is this? Aku. What kind of accent?
Rough.
Rough? That's breathing. What kind of? Acute. Okay.
Acute.
Looks very cute, doesn't it?
Yes.
Acute. Okay, it's a cute accent. And then where do we go? Are we over here to cool over taste? What kind of accent is that?
That's circumflex.
Circumflex. Then phones. What kind of accent is phones? Circumflex. Okay. Notice the accent sent over the vowel, the accented syllable, and diphthong over the second vowel. All right. To us in English, accent means a stress of the voice. Also, the native Greeks of today it means simple stress of the voice. Originally, accents indicated the tone or pitch of the voice in pronouncing syllables. We just say now it's either strong or weak. All right, accent and pronunciation. Pronunciation makes no distinction between the accents. The last syllable of the word is called the ultima. Ultima means last. It's the last syllable of the word. The next to the last is the penultimate. Penultimate. Almost last. And the one before the penal is the antepenal. So the ultima is the end, penal is the one before, antepenal is the one before that. So last, second to last, third to the last. Those are the 3 different places for accents in Greek form. All right, now it says learn the following verbs. Let's say this together. Ago. What breathing is that? Rough or smooth? Rough or smooth? Smooth. It's a smooth breathing mark. It goes to the right. What kind of an accent is that?
Great.
Grave?
Yeah,
Acute. Who's right? One says grave, one says acute. Who's right?
Acute.
Acute. Very acute. It's a cute accent. All right, ago. It means I lead, or I bring, or I go. See, ago. I go, I lead, I bring. Let's go to the next one. Cool. What sort of a breathing mark is that? Rough or smooth? Smooth because it goes to the right. See? It's not haku, it's cool. What kind of accent is that? What kind of accent is on cool? Grave, acute, or circumflex? It's acute. Okay, so cool. All right, here's the word blepo. What kind of accent is that? Blepo. What kind of a blepo? Yeah, what kind of an accent is blepo?
Acute.
Acute. It's acute because it goes to the right. Means I see or look at. Akuo means I hear. Then ginosko means I know. What kind of accent is that? Ginosko. 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 What kind of accent? Acute accent, all right? And that means to know, I know. And then grafo. Notice that trill in the R, grafo. Grafo. Okay. What accent is that? Acute. Means I write. And herisco. What kind of accent is that? What kind of accent is that?
Acute.
Acute?
Acute. Yeah, 朝这边嘛。
What kind of breathing mark is that? It is acute accent, but what kind of breathing mark is it?
It's hot.
What kind of breathing mark? Rough or smooth?
Rough.
Why? To the left. To the left. That's what herisco. 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 That means I find. One of the Greek men that discovered some Greek thing, he said, herisco, I found it. He said that. It's one of his things he said. He found a great discovery. Hereka, who put 80 different tenses.
Oh, was it weak?
Herisco. Hereka. This is fellow. What kind of accent is that? It's acute. It means I wish or I will. I wish or I will. And then lambano is I take or I receive. What kind of accent is that?
Acute.
It's acute accent. And then lego means I say. Lego. What kind of accent is that?
Acute.
Acute. And pempo means I send. Pempo. What accent kind is that?
Acute.
Acute again. And pistello. What kind of, that means I believe. What kind of accent?
Acute.
Acute. And this is echo. Echo. What kind of breathing mark is that? Smooth. Smooth. And what kind of accent is that?
Acute.
Acute. Don't forget the echo. 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 That means I have or I hold. Any questions on these? Yes. Go ahead.
In English, it's subject and verb. In Greek, it's all alphabets.
All alphabets?
In other words, there's no separation between words, right?
There's a space usually between words.
There is no space.
There's usually a space between the
There
words.
is, I do not see here.
What were you looking for? Which one? Ago?
All the words we are looking at, because look at it. First, for example, the first one, right? It's 3 alphabets, but it's really a sentence.
Let's take 10 minutes right now, starting now. 10 minutes. We'll see you back in 10 minutes.